Right, the next item on the agenda is my report, which is supplementary. Right. So this past month obviously was a busy month, but I just wanted to sort of highlight a couple of things. One was international choreographer Corey Baker, who for his birthday decided to set up a scholarship to assist financially challenged dancers achieve their dream, as he had been supported and assisted. I did mention the former Mayor Vicky Buck in the commentary there, because he told the story on the night that he made the announcement that it was the free events in the park that gave him the desire, the burning desire and ambition to become a dancer. And you know, we sometimes forget, and his mother's an absolute rock star in her own right. She was on her own and she supported him, and the fact that they managed to, you know, scrimp and save and fundraise and get him to Australia, and then just to share good fortune with a patron and a sponsor, he was able to launch an international career. So I just think that's fantastic. Hornby boy come home having done so well. The Heritage Awards, our team has done really well with a number of the heritage projects, and I did attend a heritage workshop which staff put on. It was attended by quite a eclectic group of out in the community, interesting group of speakers, but there's obviously going to be some really good stuff brought forward. I know, yeah, Councillor Clearwater was there at the same time, and it was really worthwhile. I've mentioned a few other things. I did last week, and thank you to Councillor Turner for taking over the meeting last week. I went to China to support the airport company with their flying in formation Kia ora South, which brings all of the RTOs from the South Island together. I know that people think that it's you know, sort of kind of swanning off, but I have to say, leaving at 9:30 on Wednesday night and arriving home on at 4:30 on Sunday afternoon isn't a sort of a dream trip, but the advantage of taking a mayor to China is that you do get to the president of the company coming to the meeting. So I was very pleased to support the airport company. They've been doing a fantastic job for our city. So I'm happy to take any questions. Yes.
Just to give us an update on the meeting with the Temple Residents Association, and I see that the local MP Amy Adams was there, who I think was the minister responsible for at least some of our district plan, and I think she was also trying to get legislation changed. So I just wasn't quite sure what the next step is for us as a city council in terms of what we can do. But I'd certainly welcome just having some idea of what we can do.
Yep.
Because I think it is really important. And just to highlight, in that context, there's been other industrial type activities adjacent to residential which are creating problems, like Garland's Road, metal scrap dealers, which our board, there'll be some information coming to council in due course, but it does raise that whole question of appropriate buffers.
Yeah, no, it does raise that issue. Look, thank you for raising that, and I won't do that questioning again. So that was a very good question. The meeting has highlighted a number of issues, and as a result, Christchurch City, Selwyn District and Canterbury DHB and ECAN have all written a joint letter to the Minister for the Environment asking for New Zealand specific standards for buffers between residential properties and quarries, and that's a good thing. The MP concerned has written to us and to ECAN and Selwyn District Council, following on from the meeting, saying that she supports the 500 metre buffer between the kind of quarries that we have here in Canterbury and residential properties, and asking us to amend our district plans in accordance with that. And obviously for the ECAN, it's the regional policy statement. We've heard from ECAN today, and so I can update you right now that ECAN want to sort of kick off the response to that letter, because of course they're responsible for the regional policy statement, and that will be going through its iterative process sometime over the next couple of years. Selwyn District Council has started its process of reviewing its district plan. It's in its 10-year process, and of course we know that we can't change our district plan at the moment, and Amy Adams knows that as well. I have, as you know, written to the Minister about it. I've actually just received a letter from the Minister saying that she's now consulting with the strategic partners under the legislation about our request in order to give us back the right to do that. But it's a process. I know but it's the process under the Act, so she's triggered the process under the Act, which is a good thing. But what Amy Adams, I don't think, has fully appreciated is that the wording of the order in council, which, yes, was signed off by her as in her former role as the Minister for the Environment, and by the Honourable Jerry Brownlee as Minister for Earthquake Recovery. So that jointly signed order in council has now been incorporated into the body of our statement of expectations in the actual, strategic directions chapter of the district plan, which does restrict what we can do. And I know that, Councillor Johansson, you're fully appreciative of how that needs to change as well. So we've got some work to do, but we will be responding to her. And the whole issue about setbacks is something that we do want to take we do want to move on it.
So just in regards, the quarry as an activity, the environmental effects are dust and probably noise and other things.
Yeah, dust is ECAN's, well, some of it's ours and some of it's ECAN's.
Dust, or because that's because the effects of other activities without buffers are quite similar in terms of the dust impact on communities. So yeah. I'll leave it with you guys, but I think at some stage it would be good for us to get briefed on that.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea. All right, would someone like to move that the report be received? Andrew, seconded by Jimmy. I'll put that motion.
There's the other resolutions as well, just around the
process. Sorry, and it was raised about having a recess committee. So I've suggested that the recess committee, comprising of me or Councillor Buck, as Councillor Turner won't be here, and a minimum of any 3 councillors, Cora Mayor or Councillor Buck, and 3 councillors to be authorised to make any urgent decisions. So that's just if that's required to be, and that any meeting of the recess committee will be publicised and forwarded to all councillors. So I'll put that motion. All those in favour say aye. Those opposed say no. That's carried.